So last session, last time we saw what is NLP. So it is just a subfield of linguistic computer science, information, and AI. It deals with the interaction between humans and computers. Now we saw some of the text pre-processing techniques: tokenization, stop word, n-gram, stemming, WSD, count vectorizer, TF-IDF, and hashing vectorizer. So we'll see what are those. Tokenization was breaking of a sentence into words. Okay, so there are two types of tokenization. One is word tokenization, other one is sentence tokenization. So sentence tokenization will be like if you have been given a paragraph and it is having multiple sentences, it will break into those sentences. Okay, same way the way word tokenization work, it is on the level of sentence. That's the only difference. Stop words removal. Some of the words which don't add much meaning to a sentence, those are removed. Okay, those can be removed, like like the word the, a, and, in, those kind of words. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay. Yeah. Now, n-grams. N-grams, I gave the example of WhatsApp. Like when you type any message, so it gives you suggestion. So suppose we are having a word called cold. Unigram means one word only. So cold word is having 4 unigrams: C, O, L, and D. So same way, if you go for bigram, 2 words together. So trigram is 3 and n-gram means n words together. So in this example, cold, we can have maximum of 4 words together. Stemming, when any word which is given, if we derive the root word out of it. So best example is your search engine. So when you type on Google, suppose Python, okay, it will give you result related to Python. But someone may type Pythonly. Still, what it will do, it will go to the root word only, because if we start searching only for the specific word, then you will get very less result and many important things can be missed out. So that is always better to go for the root word. WSD, this example you might remember. If a mouse is used in 2 sentences, it may be related to an animal, or it may be related to your computer. So the context is different. So algorithms are there which read millions of text and try to find out in which context a word is being used. We'll see all these things through coding later on. We'll see. Before that, we'll go through an example to understand this. So count vectorizer was if any word is any sentence is given, it creates a vocabulary, and then it convert that using that vocabulary, it created a vector like array you can see on the screen, and each array represent first like this first represent your first sentence, and wherever 0, it means that word is not present in the first sentence. So like that count vectorizer work. Then comes to TF-IDF. It also creates a vocabulary. Rather creating a vector for each line, it creates a for the whole document, and it assigns a score. The score, any word which came more number of times, it gets assigned low score. So this is how it works. And hashing. Anyone have question for so far now? Any question related to this? Because this is recap, that's why I'm going fast. I already covered this topic last time, but if still you are having any doubt, you can ask. Okay.
In the
Yeah.
previous slide, can you just
Hmm.
yeah, TF IDF.
Yes.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, got it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now hashing vector. We have been given two sentences, and if you count, there are 7 unique words. Now, if you define that 7 unique words are there, but if you define, suppose my hashing bucket size is 6. We'll see through programming also that defining the size of bucket is in our hand. Okay. So I decided, okay, I want only 6 bucket. So it is up to the algorithm to decide which two words needs to be merged. Okay, and there's a little bit complexity here as well. Suppose if 7 unique words are there and you define 7 words, so it doesn't mean that all the word will go in separate bucket. There may still be clash between two words and one bucket may remain empty. We'll see this with the help of example now. Okay, so now we'll come to our example. This is you can say it's like a spam filter, how spam filter works, and we'll try to apply count vectorizer as well as your hashing and see what is the difference between these two after going through this case study. So suppose we are having two sentence. Okay, I earn 20 lakh rupees per month just chatting on the net. Okay, so this kind of message, suppose this is a spam message, right? We get this kind of message, earned this much monthly, you do this, I'm already earning like this. So this is being categorized as a spam message. That's why I have highlighted it into a red. Now we are having a second sentence, which is like a, are you free for a meeting anytime tomorrow? So this is a, you can say it's a, like a business chat. I'm talking to my colleague in my office, or I have sent a mail. So this is a genuine message. So we are having two examples. One is a spam message, another one is a genuine message. Now, taking these two sentences, okay, I have built a vocabulary of unique words, okay, which that step is common in count vectorizer, TF-IDF, as well as hashing vector also. Okay. Now what will happen? Uh, Sorry, not hashing vector. It is not there in hashing vector. Only count vectorizer and TF-IDF, creating vocabulary. Okay, so here you can see there. This is a dictionary. Okay, when you print, you will not get it, never get in order. Okay, just for the sake of simplicity, I have created the order from 0 till 17. So you can easily see it is like a, dictionary words increasing from A to Z. Okay, so how many total unique words are there? You can see it is starting from 0, it is going till 17. So total number of unique word is 18. Okay. Yeah. Now, since we are having 18 unique words, so our vector size will be having 18 numbers. Okay. If you count this, it will come 18. Now, going to the first sentence, I earn. Okay. So if you see 0 place anytime. Okay. So anytime is not there in the first sentence. That's why this is marked as 0. Now R is there in this first sentence? No. So this is also marked as 0. What is the next one? Chit chatting. Now in this sentence, chit chatting is present here. So that's why this has been marked as 1. Fourth, we'll take one more word, earn, right? This is the fourth word in the vocabulary. Now you see the sentence earn. Okay. So earn has come here. So till this point is everyone is clear. And one more thing, see, when I took this sentence, what do you think how it created the vocabulary? Now here tokenization comes into picture. Inside that count vectorizer, what it will do, whatever sentence you will feed it, what happens, it breaks into pieces like tokenization. That is the use case of tokenization. So now you can understand and relate the things, how, what are the data processing and how it get used, at least tokenization. Okay, so any question till now? How this vector is created? Is this is clear to everyone here?
Yes, Rishi.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So same way, second, if you see the anytime, our vocabulary is having first word anytime. Okay. Now in second sentence, you can see anytime is present. So first place it has been marked as 1. So same way this whole vector is created. Okay. Now when I was explaining count vectorizer, what is the drawback of this? One drawback is once you create this vector, now if I remove this line, okay, I just give you this vocabulary and this count vector. So you cannot form this original sentence at all, because this vector don't preserve the order of the words. Okay, so R is coming at the first place in the sentence, like anytime is the first word in the vocabulary, you have marked it 1. Okay, but this vector never tells that anytime, what is the place of anytime in the sentence, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So anytime is coming as 7th place. There's no way you will know that what is the place of anytime. So that is one of the disadvantage of count vectorizer. And TF-IDF also, that it don't tells about the, you cannot reform the original sentence. Okay, so it depends on the use case. When we don't need to form the original sentence, we don't need to, we don't need to worry about it also. Okay, so this is how these two vectors are created. Now I will just rub this. Till that time, if anyone have question, you can ask me. Okay, so this is created. Now what happened? One new sentence has been given. Okay, this is the sentence. I owe eTurn, are you free rupee for a month meeting? I mean, if you read this, हाँ बोलिए. हाँ जी बोलिए. Okay, so
हेलो.
हाँ बोलिए.
ऋषि जी, इसका जो रियल टाइम में यूज होगा वो कैसे यूज होगा?
हाँ रियल टाइम ही यूज बता रहा हूँ, आपका स्पैम का बता रहा हूँ. एग्जाम्पल ये स्पैम का है, तो अभी आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा थोड़ी देर में. ठीक है. हाँ, तो ये हम स्पैम वाला एग्जाम्पल देख रहे हैं यूजिंग काउंट वेक्टराइजर. अब आपको अब काउंट वेक्टराइजर में क्या बात हमने पढ़ी थी, अगर आपको याद होगा कि आपको दिया, आपने एक बार काउंट वेक्टर फॉर्म कर लिया, यू कैन अप्लाई द सेम वेक्टर टू अ न्यू डॉक्यूमेंट. The only difference will be the new words will not be taken into account. They will be ignored. Okay. So now we have been given this new sentence. You can say new mail. Okay. This is a new mail. Okay. Now you read the word IO, eTurn, are you free rupee for a month meeting, cheating any time tomorrow, need something like that. Okay. Now after reading this sentence, you will definitely see a spam message, right? After reading, you can understand this is a spam message. Okay, but when you create the vector, okay, this vectors turn out to be not spam. This is identical to the vector which we saw in the last slide. this comes identical to this, because many words are here. See this word. This is new word. Okay. This is new word. Now, rupee is also a new word here because the spelling is different. Month is a new word. Meeting, chit. This is new and neat. So wherever I place the arrow, these are new word which is not present in our vocabulary which we created earlier. Okay. So what happened? This count vector will not take new word into account. It will just simply see, okay, R is there. Okay. This R is there. I think R was the first word. It will mark at 1. So once it will see, it creates the vector with previous knowledge, it will come out to be not spam. Okay. Till now, every point is clear to everyone. How this vector came and why we ignored the new number. This is very important because now I will start explaining the problem. So till this point, it is.
So, Rishi ji,
Boliye.
so with this vector, right? What is the deciding model? I mean, they are converting. See, from this binary, how can I conclude that it's a spam or not? So, what is that binary indicating? It is again we are generating some graph or histogram or something which is telling the pattern is telling it's a spam or not. Means which is the
Okay.
pattern to identify spam or not from this binary?
Okay, I will tell you. So here you see, just a minute. So you see here, we have marked the first vector as what happened here. Little bit of machine learning comes into play. Okay. So what happened that when I am training the model, okay, first sentence, I got this vector. Okay. While feeding into an algorithm, machine learning algorithm, I will mark it as a spam. Okay. And while feeding, I mean, when I feed the second sentence, I am marking it as a not spam. This is what happened, right? When you get the mail in your mailbox in Gmail, some are predefined by Google. Okay. They know somehow that, okay, these are spam, maybe because multiple people have marked it spam or any other way. So in the starting in any machine learning algorithm, you give something to learn machine. So I have already marked this as a spam and this vector as a not spam. So when I am coming to this sentence, this new sentence, and I have created the vector, since this vector is exactly same as this vector, the green one. Okay, that's why the algorithm will mark it as a not spam because it's previous learning. Is this point is clear?
ऋषि जी,
हाँ.
ये थर्ड वाला है आपने जो बताया, न्यू मेल वाला, but how it's a considering as a correct thing, not spam? Even I'm not sure like this count vector आपने create किया है इसके लिए, इसमें IO is not present in the vocabulary, ETRN is not present in the vocabulary. So how this vector has come up?
No, so here they are, these vectors are comparing as per the binary position. Okay, so the 1 and 0 where it is placed compared to the not spam, and the next vector what you are getting the same binary position we are having. So considering the 0, 1 positions, right? So it is it is determining as a not spam.
Yeah. But so here my point is, yeah, that I understand. Here my point is, if some new words has come up, right? But those new words has been ignored every time by the algorithm.
Yes, Vivek ji. So in count vectorizer, what happens? If you come here, once whatever vocabulary is made, this becomes fixed. Okay. So suppose in one document only 2 sentences has been given in the starting. you applied the count vectorizer. So what happened? It will create the vocabulary of unique word and it will fixed. You can understand that Oxford has printed a dictionary till this point and it is fixed. Now, if any new word will come, it don't know that word. It will just simply ignore it. That's it.
But Rishiji, so creating this vocabulary, it may be a chance that we miss out thousands of words. So
correct.
What is the process like creating this vocabulary?
Yeah, so this is how count vectorizer work. When I have taken only 2 sentences, right? It depends totally your use case. Your document may be having 100 words only, then it will create 100 words vocabulary. Suppose it is having lakhs of words, so it will create in those lakhs, suppose 50,000 are unique, so it will create 50,000 unique words vocabulary. That is the limitation of this.
Okay, so you mean to say initially we need to provide a document, and document may be larger as well, so it may be in lakhs also, so it will create the vocabulary based on the document.
Correct. So if you see this count vectorizer, right? This count vectorizer is only for the known words. You cannot have anything place reserved for a future word. Okay.
Yes. And one another question here is, आपने ये I earn 20 lakh rupees per month just chit chatting on the net. So this you are considering as a spam. Correct. So how to decide on the spam messages? Are we assuming the existing algorithm is present, which is developed by the Google?
No. Just understand this way. You have been given this 2 sentence. Okay. Now you are applying a machine learning algorithm. Now what happened? Machine learning algorithm don't know the words actually. It goes on some numbers. So you need to convert the number into any word to a number. Like if you feed this sentence to a machine learning algorithm, it will not understand. Okay. So what happened? That's why we are doing all kind of processing. First, we broke this sentence into individual words. Then we applied a count vectorizer to convert it into some numerical form. Then only you can feed into a machine learning algorithm. Now, while feeding into
Rishiji, sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have a query pop up, so I'm sorry to interrupt. So this vocabulary thing, right? So my model prediction will be more correct if I make my vocabulary more precise, right? So what I mean by precise, so the words like R1, 2, month, tomorrow. So these are more generic words. So if I make my vocabulary more specific to the spam related words like chit chatting, earn, and rupees. Okay. So if I modify my vocabulary as per the spam, then my counter vector also will be less, and my prediction also will be more. Probability of prediction will be more, right? Considering this generic word, it is impacting the overall prediction model, right?
Okay. See what happens. What you mean that if whatever words are coming into the spam message, if we reduce from the vocabulary, I can predict more accurate. That's what you mean, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now what happened when it comes to machine learning algorithm? It doesn't mean that you take only correct cases, then only your machine learning algorithm will know. So in real life example, suppose you are having friends which are only good, okay, only very good people, if tomorrow some wrong person will come, will you be able to identify properly? Maybe he's a good person also, that variety you don't know. So in case of machine learning algorithm, whether it's good or bad, or one side or other side, you should have a balance between those cases. So if you are having 1,000 message, you feed to a machine learning algorithm for spam and not spam, and there are 900 non-spam message and only 100 are spam. It will be difficult for an algorithm. It is called an unbalanced class in ML language. So we'll come to that point in machine learning. So as of now, just consider that we need a balance between both the classes, spam and not spam. If we ignore the spam message we don't want to consider, then we cannot do the correct prediction as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sure. Got it.
yeah, Rishi ji, that spam message cannot be framed in the similar manner we have quoted. There may be a probability like, okay, the spam message is just till chit chatting on the net is not there. Still, it will be identifying the message as a spam.
Yeah. So what happens? I have taken only two messages. One is spam, one is not spam. For machine learning to give a good prediction, you need hundreds of thousands of messages. So the more message you will give, the more it will learn properly. Okay. So definitely, if you give two messages like that, it will be very difficult for it to understand and categorize any message as spam or not spam.
Okay.
Okay. So you need
Yes.
definitely more message to accurately predict it. Okay.
Ji.
Rishi ji,
Yes.
this
Yes.
binary position, I mean, so ideally case we have to convert this binary position to some other model or graph, or we can, because see, as per this so this pattern, right, spam, so chit chat and all it's placed at the end, right? So if I just reframe my sentence like just chit chat and you can earn 20 lakh rupees. Okay, it's a spam. But as per this prediction model, the binary position are changed and it's declared as a not spam. So if I it's not spam binary position, right? So if I place this sentence, refresh this sentence, and I can make it as a not spam, right? Like you are I mean, you're getting right my point.
See what happened. If you shuffle these words, okay, doesn't matter. If you shuffle this word here and there, it will still be considered as spam because the vector will be same. Okay.
No, so vector will be different, right? That is what my doubt is. So if I mention just chit chat, you can earn 20 lakh rupees. In this, vector will be different, right? So
No.
just will check just is.
You are removing the just, right?
No, that sentence I just rephrasing to just chit chatting on the net, earn 20 lakh rupees
per month.
So what would be the per
right?
month? Yeah.
So it will be same now. Vector is same because this vector is not checking it at what place your word is coming. It is just telling whether the word is present or not. So see the zero place. What is at the zero place here? Your anytime. Now anytime is not present in this sentence at all. So it is marked as zero. Now you see the second last word. What is second last word here? 20. Now 20 is present here, right? In words actually. Okay. So I mean, your vector is no way is telling you what is your sentence. It is just telling what words are present in your sentence. Now, you can shuffle the words in any way. It makes sense or not sense, doesn't matter actually. You got it?
Yeah. Clear. Thank you.
Okay. Now, even because I have given only two sentences, so even if you remove one word, the vector, suppose you just remove just from this sentence at all. Okay, so there in the one of the word where it is one, it will turn into zero. Now it will be difficult for the machine learning language to categorize it whether a spam or not a spam because this vector is new and we have given only two. So it depends on the number of cases you have created into your machine learning language. So for simplicity, because no one here knows machine learning language, you just consider that whatever vector came first is your spam and second one is not spam. If any other vector is same as the first one, it will be considered as spam. And if it is same as your second one, the green one, it will be considered as not spam. Just for simplicity, as of now, understand this. Okay. Okay.
Ji. Okay.
And one thing more, since this is in 5 minutes we will be disconnected because 40-minute limit is there. So everyone just connect again the same link. Also, please type anything in the chat window like good morning, good evening, hi, namaste, whatever. This is for the purpose of attendance. 15 people are working on the development of this attendance automation. So we need this data. Okay. So just please type this, and in case if you get disconnected, just reconnect again. Okay, I will continue my class from here. Now we got now new vector. I mean, we got new sentence. Okay, and we created a vector. Now I have highlighted this as green because this vector came exactly as our previous not spam vector. However, if you read the sentence as a human, you can say this is a spam message. Now that is the difference. Your machine learning algorithm is not able to categorize this message as a spam message. Why? Because the limitation of your count vectorizer. That is the limitation I wanted to highlight with count vectorizer. Okay. Now, if I create a total again, if this sentence also I give with along with the previous two sentence and again create a count vectorizer, will get this new vector. So what happens? There's a disadvantage here that suppose you have created previous two sentence taking that you created a machine learning model. Now, if this message comes, if you don't create your whole model again, like you don't apply count vectorizer again from scratch, okay, then this message will be wrongly classified as not spam. However, if you again create your vocabulary, again apply your model, then you will get a new vector. Okay, and same way your previous two sentence vector will be again modified because the length of that vector will be more. We got new words in our vocabulary. So every time if a new message comes to your mailbox and every time you mark keep on modifying your count vectorizer, it means that every time you are building your machine learning model again and again. So every time you are doing your work from scratch. That is why your count vectorizer here is not a very good case. Yes, Lakshmi, you are asking a question. Lakshmi, you are asking a question. Please go ahead.
No, Rishi, it is by mistake.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so I hope in 2 minutes we'll disconnect. So hope everyone typed something on the chat window. Okay, so this is the limitation of your count vectorizer. Now hashing. We learned what is hashing. So suppose if two names have been given, Rishi Bansal. Okay, so your hash function, how it works internally, how it arrives on a particular number, that we don't know. Okay, so suppose for Rishi Bansal, it creates a hash value of 23, and there's another name called Rashi Bansal. So it may be 72. Just for this number may not be the correct. It is just to highlight that the number for both of these may be different. Okay. Now output number depend on the hash function. What kind of hash function what you are using, it totally depends on that. Okay. Now some of the features of hashing. Same value for same string. Okay, if you give same string like Rishi Bansal anywhere, okay, in your document, it will calculate the same hash 23 every time. Okay, collision, possibility of same value for different strings. So there may be possibility that Rishi Bansal or Lokesh ji both number may come equal because of the hash function. There is a possibility of that. Okay, so this is the feature of hashing. Now We'll take the same example which we took for count vectorizer. Okay, now what I will do, I am disconnecting the meeting and restarting it because it's going to disconnect. Please rejoin again. Okay.